It's an honorable job, and I look forward to serving with honorable people to do the work of the city.
Today on the Morning Edition, new leadership, new priorities, and big decisions ahead. How the ballot you cast today could reshape our community.
Plus, handling hundreds of potential job losses, why so many Anchorage teachers could be looking for work before the start of the new school year and later.
If I could get a dime for every time a doctor says, I just don't know how he's here, I'd be a wealthy woman.
And we are back teaming up with Make-A-Wish Alaska for the 1 Million Mile Challenge all month long. We are sharing incredible stories of 4 Wish kids and their families, how your donated airline miles will make a difference as the Morning Edition starts now. Good morning, everyone. Happy April 1st, and one of my favorite campaigns that we do.
We look forward to this every single year and hearing all of those incredible stories of these children who are so deserving of your donated miles.
And of course, we'll have it later on in our newscast, but you can start to donate your airline miles. So we've hit and surpassed the last couple of years. So I think we can do it again
this year.
Yeah, didn't we make it to 2 million or almost 2 million last year?
Last year, yeah.
Let's do 2, 3 this year.
We
can do that. Waking up this morning, we've got some pleasant conditions across South Central, but to our north, we continue to see the return to winter. This is a live look out towards Fairbanks as you head out towards Eielson Air Force Base, where we're currently sitting at 34 degrees. We've had that fresh snow cover through the overnight hours, and this morning we are seeing some pockets of some wintry mix embedded across the region. 34 is where we're currently sitting at. You can see winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour, so in addition to the snow, you'll continue to hold on to some pockets of some blowing snow, which will lead to some reduced visibility. You can see out towards Nenana, we've got that increasing snow showers as well. That tripod's still standing tall, and of course, you still got a couple of more days to get that guess in for when you expect to see that the tripod drop. And then along the Steese Highway, you can see that blowing snow and sideways snow that is occurring this morning. That's where you could encounter some of that visibility reduction as you get out on the roadways. Temperatures across the state certainly sitting on the milder side for the interior, 36 in McGrath with some cold rain. We got 31 in Nome, 29 degrees in Cold Bay. And then, of course, the Gulf Coast region seeing those temperatures sitting in the 30s and the 40s outside of Kodiak, which just within the last hour was sitting in the lower 50s. We're talking about temperatures today for Kodiak could potentially warm into the mid to upper 50s. So we are still fairly quiet for a good portion of the state. However, as you head out towards Norton Sound and through parts of the interior, we can continue to hold on to periodic snow showers with some areas of rain embedded within that. That will stay with us throughout the remainder of today. So be prepared for some slick road conditions as well as some lowering of that visibility. And there's that bands of some wintry mix that you're seeing through parts of the interior this morning. As far as the afternoon hours, we are going to see those temperatures steadily warming back into the mid to upper 30s. That's why we'll continue to hold on to some chances of some rain embedded within that snow throughout the day. I'll have more on that as well as that 7-day forecast for Anchorage as well as Fairbanks coming up over the next couple of minutes.
It's Election Day in Anchorage, and this municipal election provides voters a unique opportunity to make your voice heard. Ballot boxes open at 7 a.m., so less than 2 hours from now, and will remain open until 8 tonight. Election workers expect voting centers to be busy and are encouraging you to avoid peak times. Election Administrator Jamie Hines says so far turnout is on par with the past years, despite the previous administrator's resignation less than a week ago. Again, those voting centers and drop boxes will close at 8 tonight, but as long as voters are in line to drop off their ballot by 8, they will still get the opportunity to vote, though Hines says the earlier you get there, the better.
So to get you fully informed this morning, we do want to break down what you will see on the ballot. Now, there are 6 assembly seats, 2 school board positions, and 15 propositions that could shape the future of the municipality. Now, the municipality follows a 3-year cycle, so where half the Anchorage Assembly is up for election at a time, and then the mayor is in the 3rd year. So this year, the usual 6 seats, they are up for election, but only 2 assembly members are actually running for re-election, which means a third of the assembly is bound to change with at least 4 new members, maybe even 6.
It's always interesting. I've met with a few of the folks who I think are probably going to win their races just to start the conversation. And, it's an honorable job, and I look forward to serving with honorable people to do the work of the city.
In the race for school board, incumbent Margot Bellamy is defending her seat against challenger Alexander Rosales, while Kelly Lessons faces off against Mark Anthony Cox. Also on ballot, Proposition 1, which would allow the Anchorage School District to borrow up to $63.8 million for school building renovations, including security upgrades. Now, taxes would go up by $12.90 per $100,000 of assessed value if it passes. Proposition 2, that applies to voters in the Anchorage Road and Drainage Service area. It's asking whether the city should issue $33.7 million in bonds to help pay for acquisition, construction, renovation, and upgrades to roads and infrastructure. If approved, it would also raise the municipal tax cap, costing taxpayers an estimated $7.86 per $100,000 of assessed property value.
While there are 15 ballot propositions, not everyone will see them all, as some are area specific. Here's a look at a couple more. Proposition 10 is a special tax to collect not more than $3.5 million annually for buying and replacing equipment for snow removal and snow hauling. This would be an increase of $11.21 per $100,000 of assessed value. And Proposition 11 is a special tax to collect no more than $3 million annually to replace police vehicles. This could cost homeowners an additional $7.55 per $100,000 of assessed value. Of the 10 propositions that would impact the majority of Anchorage property owners, the total increase would be $44.94. Hundreds of Anchorage educators are now facing uncertainty about their jobs. The school district started notifying teachers that without additional state funding, many positions could be cut or reassigned by the start of next school year. The district calls this an annual internal process, but school board president Andy Holloman admits it's being made worse by budget shortfalls. Staff without confirmed assignments are being placed at other schools, though Holloman says they're trying to delay that as long as possible, since once involuntary transfers happen, they're pretty hard to undo.
A whole lot of programs that people really love and feel like are key to their academic success are on the chopping block. And so for all of us on the board, or anyone that might join the board, trying to figure out what to cut that does the least harm and how to keep things functioning through a period of uncertainty, those are kind of the big challenges.
A spokesperson for the district confirmed that hundreds of notifications have been issued and a more specific number will be available soon.
In other news, a school bus driver in North Pole is facing multiple charges after being arrested by Alaska State Troopers last week. Court documents identify the driver as 24-year-old Lawrence Dunlap. Troopers say he was behind the wheel of an empty school bus when reports came in about him driving erratically, including heading in the wrong direction from North Pole High School. When troopers pulled him over, they say Dunlap became agitated and threatened them. After conducting sobriety tests, troopers determined that he was under the influence and found that he was also carrying 2 firearms. Turning now to Capitol coverage this morning. In Juneau, state lawmakers, they are turning their attention to Alaska's ties with Canada and the impact international policy could have at home. The Senate Resources Committee is considering a joint resolution that, among other things, voices opposition to tariffs on Canadian goods and reaffirms the importance of the relationship between Alaska and its neighbor to the east. The discussion comes in the wake of tensions between the U.S. and Canada over trade. Prime Minister Mark Carney recently warned President Trump that retaliatory action could be coming, and a Buy Canadian movement is already affecting American companies that rely on Canadian markets.
In the global uncertainty that we're facing, we are more keenly aware of why neighbors matter, why partners matter, and everything in our life we can tie to groceries and fuel and things like that, and cooperation. And ultimately, it does come down to relationships matter.
House lawmakers considered the same resolution earlier this month. It passed in the House in a 33-4 vote. The Senate does have its own similar resolution in the form of SJR 9. You can, of course, read more and see the full text of those resolutions by visiting our website.
Covering the interior, demolition work is set to pick back up this summer on Fairbanks' long-dormant Polaris building. Once the tallest structure in the city when it opened in 1952, the Polaris building has been abandoned since 2001 and was officially condemned in 2012 as a public health hazard. Crews began deconstruction last spring and have already removed several floors from the top. The next phase of work is scheduled to resume in mid-April, weather permitting, as contractors need temperatures to rise before using water to prevent harmful chemicals in the concrete from becoming airborne.
The water supply for the work is coming from the utilidor, which is heated underground. But in the basement of the tower itself, it's cold down there still. Like frost penetration in the ground's about 6-7 feet. So it's cold in the basement. He could put some temporary heat in, but where we're using it above ground, if it's water and then it freezes, it just makes a mess for everything and it makes it unsafe for the workers.
During demolition, downtown Fairbanks can expect road closures along First Avenue and Lacey Street. The city engineer says the goal is to fully tear down the Polaris building by the end of this year's construction season. What happens next is still uncertain, but the city says the property could be sold or leased once demolition is complete.
Still ahead, Anchorage drivers, hold on to your hubcaps. Well, streets are looking a little bit holy these days as spring thaw means potholes are back. How to report them and how quickly the city says they'll fill them.
Plus, spring is in the air and so are the sounds of little hooves. A popular Palmer farm is open just in time for reindeer calving season. It just might be the cutest time of year and you're invited.
Expected across South Central as we welcome in the afternoon hours. We are expected to see temperatures nosing their way near 50 while snow remains to the north. I'll have more on that. But first, sunrise, 7:21 in Anchorage, 8:09 in Bethel. Your full forecast is next.
Good morning, everyone. We hope you're having a great start to your April 1st.
Yeah, well, let's hope nobody's pulling
No
any tricks
jokes.
this morning. Aaron, no jokes in the weather today.
No, in fact, we're going to be talking about that springtime warmth. Certainly going to be a bit on the warmer side today across South Central and Southeast. Now, a ridge of high pressure that's still with us out towards the Aleutians. As that begins to back off towards the south and southeast, we're beginning to reintroduce some winds across the state. And you can see out towards southwest Alaska through the interior, we've got that persistent southwesterly flow. And then as you head out towards Kodiak, we've got northwesterly flow. This is actually leading to a resuspension of that ash from the Katmai Nova eruption back in 1912. This strong northwesterly winds will transport that ash through early this morning. That 200-meter or roughly 650-foot deep ash flow deposits fill the valley, and so that is what's being resuspended and being transported out towards Kodiak. And that will remain with us through the first part of the morning hours. We have seen those winds peak at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. Now they are beginning to die down, but still quite gusty out towards Kodiak. Temperatures this morning across South Central sitting in the 20s and the 30s. Outside of Seward, coming in at 46 degrees this morning. So we are beginning to see some of those pleasanter mornings across a large portion of South Central. And check out these temperatures today. We'll make it to 47 degrees this afternoon for Anchorage. That means East Anchorage, parts of the valley, as well as coastal regions may see a decent opportunity for temperatures to climb into the lower 50s later this afternoon. Soak up that sunshine and enjoy it. You notice that wintry weather staying off to our north, where we're expected to see some snow and some rain embedded within that, not only for the interior, but areas along the slope. And then as you head out west along parts of Norton Sound and through the Yukon Delta, as we are beginning to see this ridge kind of backing off, it is opening the door for more of that westerly flow, which will keep those snow showers to our north. Meanwhile, here across South Central, more sunshine to be expected today as we welcome in our Wednesday. We are going to begin to see clouds thickening back up across South Central. We'll start off the day with some sunshine tomorrow, and then those clouds thicken up from Wednesday night into Thursday. And this will open the door for rain showers to build back in across South Central by week's end. Until then, we do stay on the dry side, and those temperatures will remain fairly mild. Sunny and warm across southeast today with temperatures easily breaking into the 50s. You can see some breezy conditions to be expected as well, anywhere from about 15 to 25 miles per hour. Sunny and pleasant across south central. Some breezy winds through Kenai out towards Kodiak. You can see those temperatures breaking into the 50s for Seward. Upper 50s look likely for Kodiak today as we see a high of 58 degrees. Mid to upper 40s through Prince William Sound, 45 in Golconda. You can still expect to see those cooler mornings with temperatures dipping into the 20s and the 30s, but largely expecting a nice stretch of weather here over the next couple of days. You can see mid to upper 40s through the valley, but keep in mind there's an outside chance we could see those temperatures warming into the lower 50s throughout the afternoon hours. You can see through the interior, those temperatures will break into the mid to upper 30s. 6 degrees in Utqiagvik, 32 in Nome, 52 degrees in Juneau. And that 7-day forecast, clouds increase into your Wednesday, still on the drier side with those showers opening up as we welcome in the weekend. You can see those daily highs sitting in the mid to upper 40s.
Yeah, looks good. Thanks, Aaron.
Drivers know the sound. That thud means you've just hit one. Spring is here, and so are the potholes dotting streets like craters on the moon.
Yeah, been there, done that. This morning, Georgina Fernandez with how many the city's already patched, what to do if you spot one, and just how fast the Muni promises to fill it in.
Little and not so little moon craters, aka potholes. A pesky nuisance that greets us every spring after a series of freezing and thawing cycles creates holes under the pavement, leaving some messy road conditions for drivers. Now, I'm on East 50th Avenue, and as you can see behind me, there are a string of potholes here. I've counted at least 6 alone on the street, so let's give the Muni a call to see how long it takes them to fix things up. Now, to report a pothole in the municipality of Anchorage is as simple as leaving a voicemail on their pothole hotline. Hello, I would like to report a series of potholes on a East 50th Avenue road, and looks like there's kind of like 3 across the road right now. Thank you. Goodbye. Now, according to the Muni, they aim to fix every pothole reported within 24 hours from being reported during weekdays. And if you're on a state road, the reporting process is also simple. All you have to do is send the DOT an email at dot.potholes@alaska.gov. Georgina Fernandez, Alaska's News Source.
You've been listening to the Alaska's News Source podcast. Subscribe to have the latest episodes delivered to your library automatically.